Hey friends, it's Brad Brain. Today I want to talk about a fundamental issue that has to do with achieving your great goals in life. And that is sometimes the things that we want to do are not the things that we need to do. So this was inspired by a father-son talk I had this morning with my boy. He's got a decision to make coming up. And so here's the backstory on this. We live in a small town in rural British Columbia. And my boy, he is in French immersion. And basically what that means is since kindergarten, he's had his schooling in French. And to contrast that with the typical student learning French, they might have a few hours a week of French instruction. He's had all day, every day of the school year since kindergarten in French. So he's bilingual right now. He's totally fluent. This is how fluent he is. His last year, even though he would have been 11 last year, he was helping one of the regular French teachers with their pronunciation. So think about that. He's 11 and he's helping the teacher out, right? So he already knows all the French that he's going to need to know, unless he wants to be a politician. He wants to run for federal politics, and everything that he says in either language will be scrutinized, or I guess potentially work for the government. Maybe in a situation like that, then perhaps he might want to just really nail down that incremental last little bit of knowledge that he could potentially get from more and more French instruction. But realistically, I mean, for sure, he knows way more than I ever did, and probably all he'll ever need to know. So here's the message here is where we live. We have two middle schools, and middle schools are grade 7 to grade 9. There's only two of them. That's how small our town is. So the point, though, is that the curriculums are different. There's two different curriculums, right? So right now he's at a point where the other school has something to offer that the school that he goes to doesn't. And I think, honestly, I think it could be beneficial, potentially more beneficial than taking more French. He already knows French, right? And we didn't put him in French because we had some sort of affiliation with the French language. I don't have any French family history. It wasn't for any particular job prospect. I put him in French immersion because I wanted him to train his brain to think rather than train his tongue to speak. So it wasn't so. I just wanted him to learn. I didn't really care what he learned. I just wanted him to learn, right? So now that he's learned that, the question is, does he keep going with French? Right now that he's reached a point where realistically he knows all he needs to know. Does he keep going with French, or does he switch schools and start this other curriculum? That's not an easy decision, because at the age he's at, what he would like to do, I'm expecting, is to stay where he is, right? It's the program he knows. It's comfortable. It's with all his school chums. He's at the age where switching schools, that's a big deal, right? So does he leave all that stuff behind and go to this new one, which potentially could be more beneficial, with the idea of turning him into a healthy, happy, successful man? All right, so not an easy decision, because what he might want to do isn't necessarily what he needs to do next. You see what I mean? I don't know if that might be harder to connect the dots on how that relates to financial planning. So let me give you a different analogy. So to me, one of the things that's important to me is lifelong fitness, physical fitness, right? I want to be healthy for my lifetime. I don't want to get into issues with aging poorly, where I start losing mobility, where I start getting pain. It restricts what I can do. I want to be able to do all the things I want to do for the rest of my lifetime, right? So the implication of that is I need to exercise, as we all do. I need to exercise if I want to live a long, healthy, happy life. So the point, though, is that we don't always want to exercise. Yesterday, case in point, I was tired. I didn't really feel like it, right? But what I want to do, which is take the day off, and what I need to do, which is have lifelong healthy habits, aren't necessarily the same thing. And it's the sum of these daily decisions that will determine whether we reach our objectives or not, right? So if you end up taking the easy way out, doing what you want to do on the day, it's possible you could get off track from what you need to do in order to accomplish your great goals in life. So here's the solution to this. Be ever mindful of your great goals, right? And make decisions that are consistent with reaching your objectives. Ask yourself, does this help me get to where I want to be? And if you're able to say yes to that question more often than you say no, chances are you're on the right track. So sometimes what we want to do isn't what we need to do. Be mindful of what you need to do in order to reach your objectives. I hope that makes sense. But if you got any questions, let me know. I'm Brad Brain and I'm here to help. Stay healthy. Be well. Take care.